Are you looking to conduct a risk assessment? Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing and showing you exactly how to create this incredibly effective risk assessment template. Now, this template has been leveraged on hundreds of projects and optimized over many years. And the good news for you is it's relatively easy to create. There's no complex formulas that you need to write and to learn. And also you can leverage this on all of your projects going forward. Now, if you did want to save yourself a little bit of time, I have made this pre-built, pre-optimized template available for instant download. There will be a link in the description down below if you did want to pick that up. With that said, let me now walk you through exactly how this template has been created and how you can do the same. So the first thing I'd recommend that you do is just create a couple of sheets. In the first one, we're going to want to rename this as risk assessment, and in the second, risk matrix. I'll be showing you how to set this up shortly, and we will be using the matrix within the assessment itself. So just bear that in mind. When you've opened risk assessment, then give that document a title. So I've done that in cell B1, just typed in risk assessment and increased the font size to 20. That way, if anyone opens up this document, you share it with your stakeholders as an example, they know exactly what they're looking at. I've then put a light grey fill colour on row 1. Again, just to differentiate this as a heading. The next thing I recommend that you do is create this content section. So I've done this in row 3. We need somewhere to enter the project name if this risk assessment is for a specific project. We also want somewhere to document who either created the document or the template, or when it was, or who updated it essentially, and when it was last updated as well. So we can get a quick snapshot of basically how up to date this document is. So to do that, I just typed in project name into B3, updated by D3, and last updated into F3. I bolded those, put the same grey background, and then I used the border functionality around these cells here. And as you can see, that just creates these somewhere for this data to be entered essentially. Then in B6, what I essentially did is I started putting all of the different column headers. Now, in terms of formatting, it's very straightforward. All I've done is I've center aligned. So this is all on the home ribbon. I've center aligned, I've bolded, and I've also wrapped the text. So that's how this appears kind of visually. Let me now walk you through what data you're going to want to capture and some of the important formulas you need to use. They're very simple, and I'll show you how they're kind of set up as well. So the first column is risk ID. It's going to be a number typically, but just gives you the ability to identify the risk. We've then got risk description. Just you can add more information about what that risk is. Caused by, kind of self-explanatory really, what caused that risk to occur. The consequences of the risk owner, and then here is where the assessment gets more interesting. So basically what I've done is above the column headers for the table, if you like, I've added another row. Now, what I've done from G5 through to J5 is I've merged and center. So if I take that off, you'll see exactly what that's kind of done. So that just basically kind of categorizes and pulls this all together so that we can see that underneath probability, impact, risk rating, and risk classification are all part of this inherent risk without control section, if you like. So we've got this here. So I've created this. We've then, and I'll walk you through this in a second. Let me just finish off the table. We've then got controls, control or controls, depending on how many there are, the control owner, and then we've created a second section for the residual risk. So this is essentially the risk impacted, the risk classified against when controls are in place. So it's exactly the same section. So you could create this first and then essentially paste it in here. And then the last column in the table is comments and notes. So anywhere to add additional information that the other columns aren't capturing. Now let me just walk you through how these essentially work. So I'm actually going to build them from scratch so you can do the same. So if I go into risk matrix first, we get an idea as to how this is all going to work. So what I've done at the top here is I've just created a little kind of scale table. So we've got scale and probability and impact. Now the scale we've got is 1 to 5, and each number is kind of indicative of this kind of classification, if you like. So 1 equals very low, 2 is low, 3 is medium, 4 is high, and 5 is very high. Now what this essentially enables us to do is to create the classification. So I've created this little risk matrix here. So on the left-hand side, on this axis, we've got impact, and at the bottom, we've got probability. And all I've basically done here is, this is essentially very low, low, medium, high, very high, and the scale on this side for probability is the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, essentially to work these numbers out, it is basically this times by this. So 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 4 is 4, and 1 times 5 is 5. So to get the kind of, so what this is basically enabling us to do, in another way of explaining it, is this is giving us a risk rating. So imagine these elements as risk rating. So it's impact times by probability. So if the impact is 5 or very high and the probability is 2, that gives us a score of 10. And what this basically enables us to do is assess our risks and see what kind of we need to focus on, essentially. Now, the next thing I've done here is I've created this, if I just pull this down so you can see, I've created this little table here. So we've got risk impact versus probability. So anything that's scored 5 or under is given sustainable. Anything between 6 and 10, moderate. Anything that's got a score of between 11 and 15 is severe, and anything between 16 and 25 is critical. Now, all I've done to basically kind of give these colors is I've just kind of used this here. So just chosen colors to represent the different levels. So sustainable green through to critical red. Now, when it comes back to the risk matrix, you'll see we can see the color coordination here, but any of the scores that kind of relate to this classification is on here. So 5 or under, sustainable, 11 to 15 severe, so 16 would be severe. Now, I've just replicated this risk matrix and put in the scores, if you like. So it's exactly the same, but instead of numbers, we have the classifications. So here we can see sustainable, moderate, severe, critical. Okay? So kind of basic stuff there. Now, if you go back to risk assessment, this is why this is all very important. So when it comes to the table, for probability, I'm going to select, let's select G7 through to G25 for now. I'm going to hit data, data validation, data validation. In the allow, I'm going to select list, and then I'm going to left click into source. Now, if I left click into the risk matrix sheet, the source is going to be B3 through to B7, and I'm going to press OK. And what that basically means is that there's a drop down now. So it's saying, look in that sheet and pull back anything you find within that range. So we have 1 through to 5, okay? So we do that for probability. We want to do the same for impact. So if we go data validation, I'm essentially just showing you this again. In the allow, we do list, source, left click in here, go into the risk matrix, and again, we're going to do the same thing, B3 through to B7. Press OK. So again, we've got this now. So what this enables us to do is, let's just say the probability for this risk is 1 and the impact is 3. You'll notice we've got a risk rating and a risk classification. So to set up the risk rating column, all we need to do is this times by this. So it's G7 times by H7, and we'll drag this all the way down. So if I put, let's just say 5 and the impact 2, can you see how this is changing the risk rating and classification? So the risk rating is that times that. So I've walked you through that. But how do you get to the risk classification? So we've got a formula here, and it's very straightforward, but I'll just show you it. Let me bring this down. Hopefully you can see it. So it's an if formula. So what this is basically saying is, if the risk rating, so if this cell here is less than or equal to 5, put sustainable. If this cell here is equal or less than 10, put moderate. So this is just going through that classification that I walked you through earlier. So if it's equal to or less than 20, put severe. And if it's equal or greater than 21, put critical. So as an example, if this was 21, drag this down. That's what you need to do as well. Drag this down so it's all in here. Can you see? Critical. 5, sustainable. 8, moderate. 14, severe. Can you see how that works back to that classification here? Now you'll probably be thinking, we've got sustainable in this nice color. How come the others aren't like that? I did done that for a reason, because I wanted to show you how I've set that up. But one thing I will quickly say is you want to set the same thing up in the residual risk. So again, it's the data validation in here. And I've done that in advance to save some time. And that is not mapped correctly. So again, let me just map that. So data validation, list. Let's clear that out. We want to be referencing that. Press OK. And now we've got the impact here. And again, this time it will be M7 times by N7, and we just drag that down. And again, it's this here, and we drag this down. So let me just show you how to set up this coloring essentially. So I've only set it up for sustainable. What you need to do to establish this, let's do the next one. Let's do moderate. You want to go on the home ribbon, conditional formatting, manage rules, new rule. So format only cells that contain, do specific text here, and do containing. We'll do moderate. So moderate, format. Now we're going to use a yellow color. Fill. Font, we're going to want bold. Press OK. And we're going to press OK. Now, when it comes to the applies to, this is saying, what does this apply to certain cells in the sheet or all of it? So wipe that out, select this little icon here, and then select the whole sheet by clicking this backward triangle. So we've got from basically row 1 all the way through to the end. Click this again, press apply, and you'll see moderate's gone like that. So let me now show you that again. For the next one, we'll do severe. So new rule, format only cells that contain specific text containing severe, format, font, bold, fill. This is going to be orange. Press OK, press OK. Click this, click this, click this, apply. Okay, so you can see now we have that in place. But this is essentially how you create a risk assessment. Obviously, you just need to populate this now as risks come in, or you're running a risk assessment. And then you've got this risk matrix to refer back to. It's in a separate sheet. It's tucked out of the way. Creating this is very straightforward. It's literally just doing the math here, as you can see, using the colors, the fill color to basically create this. And then once you've done this one, you essentially just copy and paste it for this one. And just remember the rules here. But you might want different rules depending on the score. So in your organization, you might have a greater appetite for risk. So you might want to adapt some of these numbers accordingly, or even some of these statuses, or even rename them to something else. But this is essentially how to create a risk assessment in Excel. As I say, if you want to pick this up, there is a link in the description down below. But with that said, over to you, best of luck, and I hope you have an excellent day.